Hey everybody, it's Caleb at Prehired. Today we've got Stephen Willer with us in Rochester, New York. He's just been hired to a top sales team. Stephen, if you want,
Oh,
just take a minute and tell everyone about you and your background.
my background is primarily as an entrepreneur in the fitness world. So I got as an entrepreneur, you have to be like a natural salesperson. So I've always kind of sold like gym memberships or like privates, personal training. So that's my background is just fitness and owning my own business and just being able to get people. I had a very successful business in New York City. In 2008, right when the economy had crashed, we figured it out through marketing, through sales, through just changing the structure of our company. And so it was pretty. So that's my background, basically fitness. And
Awesome. That's great, man. So why the change to software sales? What got you interested in that, and why did you want to do it through Prehired?
well, I closed my. I had a physical business up in Rochester here. I closed it because I was never home. I was working like 15-hour days. I have two kids, and pre-hired. I saw the ad on Facebook, and it's just like I didn't know how to transition from being an entrepreneur into a company, and I understand software because I had to use a bunch of different software for my companies for fitness. So to me, it just seemed like a good fit, and I needed a mentor. I needed a company to kind of help me bridge that gap between working for myself for like 15 plus years and then working for somebody else and just understanding the ins and outs of sales, especially software sales.
Great. So when you first found Prehired, what were you thinking and feeling at that point?
I'm thinking that I think with I mean, you're every company that's on Facebook or they're just trying to sell themselves. So it always sounds too good to be true. That's the first thing that goes through my head. But I did some research. I Googled it, Google Dross. I looked into it. I mean, I've done a lot of those Facebook ads myself for my company, so I kind of understand how they work, the funnels and all that kind of stuff. So that was just my initial was this too good to be true. And I forget who I talked with somebody. I don't remember who I talked with first in the company, but when I had a conversation with him, it was like I felt like it was a really good conversation. I just felt really good leaving it, and that's what made me like that's when we plugged into it.
So you made the choice to join the program. When you went through the program, what was that experience like? What was it like going through the program?
It was overwhelming, and I learned a lot. I was excited to take it because I just learned a lot, especially about sales, about how to go on an interview, and if I felt like my hand was being held how it needed to be held. So it was kind of a comforting feeling to just go through that because it's a huge transit. It was a huge transition for me to make from being a business owner to go working for another company. So I felt like pre-hired bridged that gap really well for me.
Amazing. Can you tell us some of your results and your experiences, and ultimately, what was it like getting hired?
Well, I got hired pretty quickly on. I didn't. I think I got hired within 2 weeks or 3 weeks of landing after the pre-hire, and it was like a company contacted me because he saw my we update through pre-hire. You update your LinkedIn, you update all your profiles. So he saw my profiles updated, and they liked what it said. He liked and then he contacted me and just interviewed me over the phone. So it's cool. And he's like a startup, so that fit my personality really well because I've started 3 or 4 different companies in my life. So
Awesome. I remember it was only like 2 weeks. It was something very short. Like you
yeah,
almost set a record, I think.
yeah.
So, lastly, Stephen, what would you suggest to someone who's maybe found us and maybe they're on the fence about getting started? What would you say to someone like that?
I would say just do it. Take the plunge. I mean, do your research. Don't just do it blindly. Do your research. Look at what the pre-hire has online and Google and just I say if you want a good job and if you want to be successful in sales and that's truly your passion and where you want to go, then there's no reason why you shouldn't do it.
Guys, you've heard from Stephen Willer today. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're extremely busy now with your new job, so we will let you get back to it.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.